Hi, so I just wanted to share with you how I'm going to make some jam today in my new 12-quart Presto electric canner. I've got everything all set up. I got my strawberries, got my recipe I'm going to use. When you get your electric pressure canner, it's going to come with a quick start guide. It also has a handbook with some recipes in it, but I like to use this because it's faster just to look at it real quickly when I'm using it. It's got a rocker, and there's the inside. So I'm going to get my strawberries going on the stove here. Mix in the sugar and the pectin, follow my recipe, and then I'll load up my canner. Okay, so I've got my lids going, getting warmed up. I got my strawberries. I'm getting ready to mash them up. I use this, and then I'm also going to use a potato masher. Try to get them into bits that aren't going to be huge when it comes to making the jam. I'm going to add the sugar and the lemon and do this in layers. So now, as you can see, I've got the strawberries all mashed up. Got my lids there ready to go. Once you plug in your digital pressure canner, here what I'll do is I'll start flashing the pressure can. And of course you don't want a pressure can jam, so we're going to turn that over to boil water canning. Now it's going to ask us for our time, and our recipe is calling for 10 minutes. So we're going to set it on that. So then after we've selected the time we want for our amount of time it's going to be boiling the cans in, we hit play. It says to insert the jars. So we're going to take our lid, attach that. We want to take this off because that's your regulator. That's for pressure canning. You never want that on when you're water bathing. This still has to get on. There we go. See, it'll show locked. I'm going to turn that. We've inserted our jars. Oh, I should add that they want you to fill them halfway full of water. And of course you want to leave some space so that it can equally heat and distribute. They're not crowded together. Those are half-pint jars. So back to locked. Close that up. And now it's going to start warming those up so that they're ready for us to put our hot strawberry jam in. So those jars are heating up. It says it's going to take them about 20 minutes to heat up all the way. So now our jars are warmed up and they're ready to be filled. Got all my ingredients ready to go. Of course, it doesn't take very long to mix the jam and the sugars together. I wanted to say that this is a 12-quart for water bathing. You can use 10 regular mouth half-pint jars, 8 regular mouth pint jars, 7 half-pint jars that are wide mouth, and 7 pint jars that are wide mouth. It's just helpful to know. So I'm going to get ready and get this jam ready to get in those jars. Okay, so I've got my strawberries ready. The lids are warmed up. I'm heating up some water for the canner because they ask you to heat up extra water in case the jars aren't completely covered when you set them back in with the filling. And now I'm going to add the lemon juice and the pectin. So as you can see, I put the lemon juice and the pectin in. We're going to heat this up to a boil. Get it all mixed up before we add the sugar. Make sure there's no clumps. Once you get the sugar added, you're going to want to have it hard boil for a whole minute before removing it from the heat and skimming off any foam off the top if you have to. Okay, so we have it on medium-high heat, and it is boiling away. Now we can add our sugar. Got 7 cups of sugar that I'm going to add, and we're going to continue to stir it in until it can't be. Okay, so I've got my 7 cups of sugar mixed in. Now I'm going to get this to a rolling boil that cannot be stirred down. So it's just going to keep boiling as much as I stir it. But I want to keep stirring it. I don't like that piece. I'm going to pull that out. Got a strawberry with a bunch of seeds on it. It looks kind of not great. And it's gone. Making jam always reminds me of my mother. She passed a long time ago, but I'll never forget when I was a kid. We didn't get a lot of sweets, so when she made jam, everybody was excited. Eat it on toast, eat it on yogurt. We had ice cream, oh my God. Eat it on the ice cream, eat it out the jar. Definitely one of my favorite things to make. So here's our boil that can't be stirred down. We're gonna do that for 1 minute. So here we got our jam all made up. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these jars out. And do the lid. Always when you're lifting it up, because it has steam inside, lift it away from your face. See that? You don't want that in your face. Set this to the side. Get our jar puller. Lift these out. Nice and hot. And ready to be filled. So I'm filling my jars. You want a 1/4 inch headspace. Which is kind of hard to see with that thing in, but with your measuring tool, you can see it's not that much. It's about that first band. Carefully try to pour that in without the... Oh, got all over it. Oh well, I'll clean it up before I get it in there. And I'm gonna repeat that all the way around. So now I've got them all filled up to a 1/4 inch headspace, or roughly there for about that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's no air bubbles in each one of these, just by going around the sides. You really don't have to worry about that much with jams and jellies, I don't think. I could be wrong. But it says to do it, so that's what I do. I'm not seeing much of anything. Oh, there was some. And then afterwards, I'm going to need to clean up these jars because I got, like that one, jam all over the side. And I'm sure there's some on the rim here, and you want to make sure there's no food on the rims so you get a proper seal. There's some bubbles right there. Okay. Get these cleaned up. So I went ahead and I got some of this vinegar, and I'm going to rub the tops of these. Make sure that there's no sticky stuff. There's a bit. I don't want to get the vinegar in the jam. you want to get the outside nice and clean. So we get a nice proper seal on these, and of course this one I'll have to wipe the outside. Alright, so now I've got them all wiped off. I'm going to add a splash of vinegar into this pot so we don't have any cloudiness on the outside of our jars. Just need a little bit. And then I'm going to work on getting the lids on these and getting them ready to can. Okay, our lids are all warmed up and ready to go. We're going to start by getting a lid. I'm going to set that on the top. Then we're going to get a ring. Place that on. You want to do this finger tight, so nothing too hard, just finger tight, so the steam escapes. So got our lids warmed up and ready to go. So here's our lid. Put that on right here. Try to make sure it's all aligned. We got our ring. Get that on. Screw it. And then get the rest of these on. Okay, so got these on, ready to go into the canner here. Gonna lift them up very carefully. You want to hold them nice and flat because you don't want to get that jam all over the seal. See if I can do it. Oh, there we go. Place them in there again with the room around the sides of them so they don't get too close together here. And last one. And in. Then we need to fill them so they're covered by at least 1 inch of water. So I'm going to grab that water that I had boiling. Okay, so we have our water added. Looking nice and cozy. Ready to get canned. Let's get our lid back on. Lock it into place. Put the green latch down. Turn it. I'm going to press this, well, it's a play button, but right here. Now see it says heat. And once it comes up to temperature, it'll beep twice and it'll start the canning for you. It's nice and easy. Takes the guesswork out of everything. I sure love it. Okay, well I missed it. It beeps twice and then it starts the canning. So as you can see, we got some action going, got some steam coming out of the top, and that's going to start the countdown. It's going to go for 10 minutes, and then it's going to beep again, letting me know it's time to remove the top. But as you can see, this is what it looks like when it's actively canning. Well, water bath canning anyways. So it looks different when you're pressure canning. And I've used this thing to pressure can soup and green beans and hunks of beef, beef stew. And it's just great. If you're considering buying one, you haven't decided to pull the trigger or not, I would just go ahead and get it. It doesn't hold as much as my All-American canner that I have. I have a real big All-American canner, but it's just so simple and it really takes a lot of the work out of it. There's no adjusting the temperature or anything like that. It just does it all on its own. As you can see, we already did a minute, so I'll come back when it's time to take the lid off and do the next step. Okay, so now it just beeped and it's letting me know that it's cool down time. So at this time we're going to unlock it and lift the sensor arm for the cooling period. So we need to turn that knob again so it unlocks the top. Remember when you're taking this off to lean it away from your face. Steam burns are nothing to joke about. Set that aside. Now we're going to let that cool uncovered for 5 minutes. As you can see, that is hot. Hot, hot, hot. And then we'll pull our jars. Okay, so it's cooled down for 5 minutes. It just beeped 10 times. It's letting me know that it's time to go ahead and take my jars out. So we're going to press and hold this for 3 seconds. That means it's done. Now we're going to lift our jars very carefully out of this canner here. Remember to hold them flat. Don't want to ruin our seal that we've got built up here. Put a couple layers of towels down because those are going to be very hot. And make sure you're setting these somewhere that they're not going to get disturbed for 12 hours. Nothing bumping into them or knocking them around. Get these out. All right, so there you have it. They're all out of the canner. It did its job. It's a worker. I already had one ping. They'll probably ping as I'm talking. But anyways, as far as the capacity, I already told you the capacity for the boiling water bath. And for the pressure canning, 1/2 pints, regular mouth 10. Regular mouth pints is 8. Regular mouth quarts is 5. Then we go to wide mouth. Wide mouth 1/2 pints is 13. Whoa, you got to double deck them, it says. Wide mouth pints is 7, and wide mouth quarts is 5. So there goes another one, just pinged. That's a good thing. Ping means it's sealing, or sealed, excuse me. But overall, this thing is probably one of my best appliances. If you're on the fence, go get yourself one. It takes a lot of the pressure out of canning, the guesswork, and makes your life a lot easier. Look at it, it's beautiful. All right, happy canning.